welcome to the show. Tonight is not a normal show. We've got two folks with us who I think you're going to be very, very interested in. I want to bring on Roby Deaton and Craig LeMay. They are from Houston, Texas. Well, at least they live in Houston, Texas. We'll find out about the other stuff. But they have a band called the Deaton LeMay Project, and it has really kind of caught fire here on the House of Prague. It is the name of the album is called Day After Yesterday, and every title except for the first one, pretty much. And the first and the last one, well, no, there's some other ones, but it always seems to have to. A lot of the album has to do with time, and it's very interesting. If you like really really cool keyboard playing and composition, fantastic guitar playing, and some incredible drumming, you're gonna really like this album. Roby and Craig, welcome to the House of Prague.
Hey, Marty.
Hey,
Thanks for
guys.
having us.
Hey, Marty. How you doing, buddy?
All right. Hey, well, I got to tell you, I love the accents. I lived in Dallas for 6 or 7 years in the 80s.
Very cool.
Yeah, when the boom hit, and I left after the bust hit. So I love the accent, and I can't get enough of the barbecue.
It's here.
Houston has some killer barbecue. So wanted to talk about this band, the Deaton LeMay Project. Could you tell us how you guys got together?
Yeah, we when I first moved to Houston back in the early '90s, I auditioned for this band called Cinema, and Craig was in that band, and I knew within 30 seconds of my audition that this is who I wanted to play with, and we had some great shows back then, and just kind of went from there.
Did you guys record as Cinema?
We did not. We did one cassette, just for ourselves, and then in the mid '90s, we disbanded.
Okay. So what happened between now and then?
Well, I did a solo project, keyboard, guitar, violin, and then about in the early 2000s, we decided to get together and do some recording and do some writing.
Actually, you have plenty of CDs that you did in the meantime. Your piano and your guitar. Yeah, he has several releases on just solo album stuff he's done.
Great. Well, at some point we'll hear some of that. But what caused this album to come together, and this project actually to come together?
With these songs that we wrote back with Cinema, have always been strong ones. They always stuck with us, and when we started getting together to record again, we wanted to bring these to life. They have a lot of story to tell, and it just something we wanted to finally bring together.
Definitely.
Are all the songs on this album from Cinema?
No, just the Storm the Castle, the first one, and the past, the future, and the present are the ones that were from back then.
Okay.
Yeah, all the other ones are all newer songs that we've written since then.
Okay. Now the band has a very, very interesting sound. A lot of Emerson, Lake and Palmer sounding things, but then some really divergent, kind of interesting mixes of acoustic and electric and all kinds of things in there. Could you talk a little bit about what you're aiming for on this? Because I don't listen to this album and see it as derivative in any way.
Yeah, it's there's, like you said, the time is kind of the storyline, but that runs through it. The past, future, and present came to me. I actually in a dream. I had a dream where this door kept picking me up and dropping me in different ages. And as soon as I woke up, I actually jotted all that down, and that's what kind of started the basis of that storyline.
Okay. So what kind of influences do you guys have that you bring to bear on the music you're writing and performing?
Oh gosh! Oh my God! Well, mine goes way back as far as the Genesis and Gong and Happy the Man and as far as Grand Funk, even the groove and stuff from back in those days. Obviously, the ELP shines. Carl Palmer was a huge influence on me. My jazz influence is Buddy Rich, big time. I mean, and of course the great Neil Peart, and it's just the Kansas and all that stuff. It's all huge. Symphonic rock was my main thing when I was a kid. I was in symphonic band, so per se, the influences when you're young, you don't realize how they are absorbed, and as things got older and older, then we bump into ELP, and that. It was all over from that point on. I found my hooks there, man. So that's my main inspiration. Would have been the turning point back in '74, the ELP era and stuff like that. And of course, Rush took over after that for me, and of course some Dream Theater and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can hear some of those kind of influences in this too.
Very cool. I mean, that's my playing. My playing is from those inspirations. We are what we are inspired from. So.
Yeah, there's no changing those things. How about if we play a track? Give me a track to play that's pretty representational that you'd like to play first.
I'd say Storm the Castle. We actually opened, when we played that one with Cinema, we opened for Dream Theater on their Images and Words tour.
Yeah, we did their Texas leg. Yeah, it was pretty cool. For us to be invited on, and we opened the show with "Storm the Castle." It's an instrumental, but it pretty much it states our style right there. I feel that's a good representation right there, right off the top. It's track one.
All right, so let's play track one. You're listening to new music from Deaton LeMay Project. This track is "Storm the Castle." You're listening to the House of Prog. back. I am here with Craig LeMay and Roby Denton of the Deaton. I'm sorry, I went Denton on you. I changed the A to an N. The Deaton LeMay project. And you just heard the first track of the album, which is called Storm the Castle. Wanted to talk with you about a 3-track procession in the album, the past, the future, and then the present. So there's 3 tracks. It's about 15, 16 minutes combined. And could you talk a little bit about these tracks? Now, these also come from Cinema, right?
No, these are brought into Cinema.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this one here, the storyline is that the protagonist is picked up, taken to the past, and then when he's picked back up and brought to the future, he's being this old man keeps saying you could have made a difference in your time, but you were too busy to do it. When he goes back to the present, he sees a little boy that in the future that comes with him. They do their magic, fix the future, and then the little boy turns into the old man and says, "You did a good job," and disappears. So that's kind of the storyline of this.
Very cool.
Okay. So was this ever played with that band?
Yes, we. In fact, our last song with the Dream Theater tour was we played the present.
Okay.
And I've always been a big fan of the concept album.
Yeah. And this is a really nice little scene off to the side in the album, right? You know, as it gets taking off. Okay, so that's the story of it. Could you talk about the making of this?
Yes.
'Cause there's a lot of really, really interesting little things going on here.
Yeah, the thing was when we started looking for artists to be involved with this, I found Hadi Kiani, the most incredible vocalist I've ever worked with and ever heard. Great guy to work with, and he turned us on to Ihsaan Imani on guitar, and you'll hear their guitar work on. Ihsaan plays on the past, and then our other guitarist from India, Josh Mark Raj, he plays on the future and the present. But it was fun seeing all this come together because it's songs that I've had for a long time and just never really recorded, and was finally glad to get everything finished so that we could enjoy the finished product.
Okay. Well, let's play these 3 tracks. I think people will enjoy that. And again, that gives you a better flavor for what we're talking about with this album. And have a deep listen to not only the songcraft, but the expertise with which the instruments are played. To me, this is an album that is done the right way, and I just really love the themes. So why don't we do this? We're going to play the past, then the future, and then the present. This is music from the Deaton LeMay project here on the House of Prog.
mountain, ships that navigate the stars. Something here is sadly missing as people try to hide their scars. In this land of future places, hollow eyes and empty faces. No, I've been here for a while. Seems to me I haven't seen a smile. You are the one, said the strange old man, as he wanders up to me. You could have made a difference, but you were too busy to see. I see the boy and feel an anger, hurt and anguish pierce his heart. Future's not what I imagined, why the future fall apart. The hollow eyes and empty faces, other cave, the tight faces. With the cards the old man's were, he saw the chosen one come through the door. You are the one, cried the strange old man, as he wanders up to me. You could have made a difference, but you were too busy to see. With desperate eyes, won't choose his clothes are tattered, hangs his head and starts to cry. Crossroads of true decision, well aware of cosmic vision. Looking at the toxic sky, I turn my head as I just walk by. You are the one, it's the sad old man. As the door comes into view, you'll have to make a difference. I know now what I must do.
and we're back. Hey, you've been listening to new music from the Deaton LeMay Project. And Roby and Craig are here with us. And we're talking all about this album and how it was made. And we'll even get into a little geekdom with you in a little while. But could you talk about how this album was tracked and made, and how much of it was done at a time, and how long it took to make, and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah. We started. We did some recording back in the late 2000s, and we never finished it. And I found a lot of the tracks, a lot of the drum tracks on a external hard drive, and I loaded them into my Pro Tools, and we started building from there. And we started working on it probably late 2018, and we wrapped it all up about a year later. It took us about a year to get everything done. All the artists involved that were working with us on that.
Well, you talked about some of them. Could you talk about some of the other artists that play on this album?
Yeah.
rather?
Yeah, we have a gentleman here in Houston, Joe Gregori, one of the best guitarists in Houston, incredible player. And the other two guest artists we had, Ehsan Imani, he's from Iran. His music sings, his guitar sings. I mean, what he comes up with was just incredible for our songs. And
then
Josh Mark Raj, he's from India.
Bollywood thing.
He actually played on a huge Bollywood movie video that went 500 million views in a few months. It was incredible.
It was crazy.
It was crazy how fast that one was growing. And then Hadi Kiani, the singer, he just. I was looking for a singer, and I went on a website where you can hire different artists, and I was going through everyone and listening to their samples they have. When I heard Hadi's voice, I went, "This is the voice for our song." And I just knew it, and so I contacted him, and we started working together, and got everything wrapped up. It took us about a year.
He actually lives in Virginia, I believe.
Yeah, he lives in Virginia.
Yeah.
So, had you guys ever gotten together live to do it, or was it all done remotely?
It's all done remotely.
Yeah.
I would send them our tracks, and they would do their parts over it, and we would go back and forth making sure that's what we wanted. And when it was done, they would send us theirs, and I would put their tracks into our project. And so we, with the exception of Joel, we haven't ever met these other gentlemen, but we're looking forward to it. Hopefully here and sometime this year, get a chance to play all together.
Well, so there is an intention to play live?
Yes.
Yeah, we're definitely. We're in that phase right now. The album's taking off, and the pre-production for live shows are coming up within the next month or so.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's pretty fast.
It is moving fast, but we're at that age where we have the
don't
fire.
say it. If you don't do it, you don't know what's going to happen, right?
Right, and but we're not shy at all when it comes to that. We're all season players and constantly performing. I have a side band I work with on a tribute, a Van Halen tribute thing. So we're out constantly playing. So it's time to get out and do the original stuff, which is it's been overdue.
Yeah, at some point, right? You just have to make the decision. Well, we're going to try this. I've got to tell you, I really believe with this album you've succeeded. I think there's so much stuff in this album for everybody that it's a really cool ride. And that's what you want a progressive rock album to be. Yeah, there are some, I would say, tips of the hat to certain things without getting, too caught up in it.
Yeah,
very cool.
Very much like Bob Richardson did with Cell 15. He's done a lot of that. We're just along the edges, just to let you know.
Cool.
Sending something up. So this was done remotely. There's an intention to play live. So, I understand you just picked up a bass player.
Yes.
We're working with him as we speak right now, and it's strong. It's strong, and it's going to be pretty cool. So he's the John is his name, and we mentioned to it during our break here when we were talking to you that he's in a Tool tribute band here in local town, and he's hip on all the prog stuff, and I think you might even know him from all those prog fests that you guys put on.
It's possible, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
I think he might have known him because
Okay,
he's
so I'll see if he's a friend on Facebook.
But I'll still make a point of him to go up and talk to you at the next festival at the sea, next cruise and stuff like that.
Okay, his name's John.
Yes.
Okay.
Haddad. Haddad.
Ah, that's why I'm not finding it.
Yeah. Haddad. But anyway, yes, he's
And he's a friend.
five-string
Yeah.
5-string bass player, and so we're working him into the formula here, and so it'll free up Robbie's left hand on his keyboards. So
There you go.
yeah, that's the whole purpose.
It's about time, right?
Yeah.
But you also play guitar,
Yes.
acoustic and electric.
Yes. And then 2 years ago, I made the mistake of walking into a guitar shop in Portugal and walked out with a Portuguese guitar, which shows up on one of the songs on the CD.
Okay.
Yeah, the influences of travel.
Oh yeah. So trying to figure out a little bit about where to go next with the music that we play. So we've gone on a little journey. Where do you think we're going next?
Let's see. How about Day After Yesterday? That's the guitar one.
How about this? Let's put up 2 tracks. And there's another track from this album that is a very different track that I want to make sure that we play tonight. And I'd like to, well, Day After Yesterday, that's an instrumental, right?
Yes.
You're right. So there isn't a lot to say about that except to listen to it. However, could you talk a little bit about Silent Stone?
Yes, that one there is based on the discovery of the Rosetta Stone in Egypt. And that one there, that's my favorite off the CD.
Yes.
It has a lot of changes. It tells a story, and our vocalist Hadi Kiani just sounds amazing on that one there. But that one there is it tells a story of when they discovered the Rosetta Stone and what it meant to the world when it was found.
Okay, so we're going to play those 2 tracks, and then we're going to come back and go all geek. Okay?
Right, great.
All right. So the new album is called Day After Yesterday. It's the only album from Deaton LeMay Project. It is brand new, and it has been wearing a hole in this show because I think I've played something from it for the last 6 weeks. That usually doesn't happen on this show. Usually after 3 weeks, you're old enough that I'm not playing it anymore. Well, not very often anyway. And this album has had a lot of staying power for us. So,
Thank you.
And people actually are asking me to play this again. That's why it's staying. So
Wow.
there are requests coming in for it for people who are really kind of amazed by it when they, heard the album the first time, or the chunks that I've played anyway. So we'll play Day After Yesterday first, which is a really, really cool instrumental. And then Silent Stone, which is, I would say it's the most, more like more modern prog oriented than maybe some of the other songs are. But there's some real twists and turns in this one. And this you
That
can
was one of the last ones we wrote. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that was one of the last ones we wrote together.
Yeah. Before we finished this album, we've already started the production on the next album, but that was the last one we wrote for this album.
Yeah, and you can tell that it was written at a different time than the past and the future.
It's definitely evolved.
Right.
The band is,
And that's what I'm trying to say. It is more of a more modern prog sound than the the beginning of the album. So let's
Right.
play something that's very cool instrumental, and then let's play this track, Silent Stone. You're listening to new music, only music from Deaton LeMay Project here on the House of Prague.
looks familiar, meaning's not the same. Ancient culture phrases unknown to other lands. Ancient people's words scatter like the sand. Alone in isolation, countless eons span. Accidental excavation, one stone in Egypt's sand. Silent whispers, silent storm. Didn't know what they had found in the hot Egyptian sand, hiding in the unknown signs, the key to foreign lands. As the puzzle pieces fell, the mystery solved, open understanding, cryptic text dissolved. No more isolation, our secrets known, deciphered ancient language, but secrets shown. Silent whispers, silent storm. Ancient message on an ancient stone. Silent whispers, silent stone. Timeless message on an ancient stone.
are back. I am here with Roby Deaton and Craig LeMay, of the Deaton LeMay Project. Their new album is out right now. It is called Day After Yesterday, and it has really, like I was telling them off the air, kind of burned a hole in my playlist the last 6 weeks because people keep, I mean, I like the music, but people keep messaging me and asking me to play certain tracks again or new tracks. So it really has had some staying power on the show, which isn't really particularly normal. And it's one of the reasons I wanted to bring them here. So you heard a bunch of the music so far. You've heard about 5 tracks off the album. So with the big questions that I'm hearing from Facebook right now is they want to talk with you about music geekdom. They want to know what kind of instruments you're playing, what your favorite stuff is on that in that realm, and that. Who wants to go first?
I'll get mine out of the way since it's just drums. Actually, it's a huge cage. It's an arena design cage. It has wheels on it and stuff like that. But full blown percussion kit. It's the Yamaha recording series. Burt shells, which are the greatest sounding shells in the world for me. If you listen to the toms on the album, you'll hear the attack and the depth of the toms, and that's what I'm after as far as that's concerned. I have an array of custom snare drums. I have about 11 different custom snare drums. You name it, I've got it. But then I have the gong, obviously Paiste. I'm all Paiste all the way around, and then I do have electronics that I didn't use that much on this album, but I have a lot of rolling gear I use for sequencing and some backtracking if we want to try to do it for sequences while we're doing soloing live and stuff like that. But as far as keyboards, why God,
Yeah.
Talk about geekdom. Here you go, Robbie. Tell him.
Yeah, I remember seeing Rick Wakeman's setup back in the early '70s, and I always said I would love to have a setup that way. So through the years I've been working to get that, and I think I finally achieved that. I use a Krumar double manual organ. I have my main keyboard. It has the main sounds that I use is a Korg Triton.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a Mini Moog Model D and a Mini Moog Voyager.
Ooh.
Got 4 different MIDI controllers that can go into a rack, 21 space rack, rolling rack of modules. I have a Korg Triton. I have 3 or 4 of the Korg Trinities, a couple other Korg modules. So I can control all of those I can send any module to any of the MIDI controllers, so I can change them on the fly as I need to.
How about guitars though? Because you're also there.
Yeah, for the CD, I used a loud and acoustic guitar that it's just got the sweetest sound. When we play live, I probably won't take that one out because of the expense. So I have a couple of Taylor's acoustic guitars that I use that I'll play live, and then I have my Portuguese guitar that I used on Fadeaway that I'll play with live.
When you say Portuguese guitar, is there anything in particular about it?
Yes, it's Steve Howe played one back in the early. Yes, it's a 12-string, but it's got a very unique shape. The tuning pegs or there's 12 of them on the top. It looks like a peacock tail, and you turn those, they stick straight up. And it's got a unique sound, almost like a mandolin.
Is it like the Veshalia?
Kind of. It's but it's got a kind of a real unique sound, a unique tuning, and it just added some depth to Fadeaway. So that was a fun one to play with. I'm looking forward to playing that one out live.
Well, that would be fun.
Yeah.
It's always nice to be able to bring something out in the spotlight.
Yes, definitely.
So, wanted to talk with you guys also. And just about when anybody comes on the show, we know that progressive rock is a real. Somebody told me it's an incredible, expensive hobby. That's how they described it at one point. It's a really expensive hobby. It's like owning horses. But could you talk about what you do? I will say 9 to 5, but I know I don't mean that.
Yeah, I teach music. We have a music school in Houston, at Temple School of Music, and I teach piano, violin, guitar over there 7 days a week, and absolutely love my job. I tell my parents all the time, if I was rich, I'd be doing this for free.
Been doing it for a while there?
Yeah, I've been 1994 is when I started teaching, and this is what I do full time. That and come home and work on our music.
Yeah, and I've been teaching professionally since 1979. I have a drum school here in Houston, Northwest Houston area. It's been established since '79, so this is my 41st year.
Wow.
This is my only job I've ever had, really. I went to North Texas State University Jazz College, 77, 78, and then when I got home, started working immediately at a local music store. Then I broke off and started my own company, and been teaching also. So we're both music educators in our own right, and just passing the torch.
Well, it's fantastic that you guys are able to make a living playing and teaching music. It's really hard.
Yeah, well, it's worked. It's worked for me.
Worked for me too.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Wanted to talk a little bit in a while about where people can buy the album. But before we do that, we're going to make people's mouth water a little bit. And want to play the track you were just talking about. It's called Fade Away. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that one there. I started with the acoustic guitar, just kind of coming up with ideas, and decided to add the Portuguese guitar to it. On this song here, this is my favorite that Hadi sings for us. His voice is absolutely amazing. I mean, it'll melt you. It's just such a beautiful tone, beautiful melody.
Okay.
And
any kind of subject material on this one?
That one there, just about the fragility of life. Things happen that you don't expect, and catches you off guard sometime.
Okay. All
and
right.
What we did too, this one here, even though it's acoustic guitar, I'm a big fan of odd metering. To me, life is not lived in 4/4, so most of our songs have this odd metering, and what we try to do is keep it musical while we go through the different meters.
Sure. I mean, that's, what sounds good to people's ears, is different. And people who listen to progressive rock a lot of times listen for that. I don't think it's mandatory all the time. And I think some people go over the edge with it a little bit. But I don't think you guys do. I think you have a really good sense of where it should be and where it shouldn't. And this song's a really cool representation of what this project is about. So I wanted to make sure to play it. Okay.
Right.
So this is Fade Away from Deaton LeMay Project here on the House of Prog. were just listening to brand new music from Deaton LeMay Project. That track was called Fade Away. And we are back. I want to talk with you about how you can lay your grimy little hands on this album. Could you talk to people about that, please?
Yes, we have a website, DeatonLeMayProject.com. You can get the digital download, or you can buy the physical CD, which also comes with a digital download. And we're also on for people who want to just have certain platforms they use. We're on all the iTunes, all the digital download platforms. They can also pick up the CD there.
But please go to DeatonLeMayProject.com, because that's where they're going to get the most bang for their buck.
Right.
And be able to bring you the next album, which being told from you backstage is already in process.
Yes,
it is.
definitely.
We've already got 5 songs toward it. We're going to try to do maybe 10 or 11 on this one, but yeah, we're actually actively working on that one.
Yeah, the juices are always flowing, and this is not just a one-off. This is a hopefully once a year is what we're going to continue to do, and just build the fan base and work from there. Well,
that's great, because that's what this show is all about, is new and developing artists. And it doesn't matter whether you're 25 years old or 60 years old. Because in Prague, everybody is welcome at every age, right?
Right.
Well, it's all about the music. It's all about the music.
Right. You could have, one foot in the grave and the other in a banana peel. But if the music is good,
thank you.
And the songs are good, you're fine. Wanted to talk with you. Okay, so the best place to get it is DeatonLeMayProject.com, but you can purchase it pretty much on all the regular outlets like Amazon Music and
Just go to the website right there. I mean, you're going to get a better deal.
But go to their website and do it. And digital download is also included when you buy a physical copy.
Yeah, and you can have that immediately.
That's great. So no need to wait for it.
No, you can have it. We'll have it tonight.
Very good. So I wanted to talk with you guys a little bit off the album about, being progressive music fans yourselves as musicians and teachers.
Top of a person. I have some fine stereo equipment at home, and I listen to a lot of things that aren't all prog, but all the influences I'm hearing from all the music that I do listen to is all fed through my style of playing and stuff like that. I'm even into the Diane Krall, even Sinatra and stuff like that. And I love classic symphony stuff, which is really what I thrive off of, is listening to classical symphonic music and in my head rockifying that. And that's my influences in that strongly and stuff like that. But a lot of my teaching I do, still Dream Theater's at the forefront. So I'm constantly doing transcriptions on all the Dream Theater stuff, which for drummers is a deep challenge, and it's great studies in the frame of odd meters and stuff like that. So, for me, the prog, it still seems to be the Dream Theater is winning the game on my side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Portnoy will be very happy that you said that. Or not.
Well, he's not even.
Or not.
Yeah, it's Mangini now, as far as drummer is concerned. I'm sure if there's drummers out there, they know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Mangini.
But that hasn't really changed.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't think Mangini is a big change from Mike Portnoy. I mean,
no. The Mangini is a little bit more mechanical. He's more of a linear player. As far as my perspective from coming from a music education from drumming, so but the Portnoy he had a great feel. He has a great feel. Not to say Mangini doesn't, but Mangini's more linear is how I would describe him. More mechanical.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Roby, what are you hearing that you're liking?
Well, I like all of Jordan Rudess's solo stuff. I'm a big fan of his. In fact, the song on our release, "To the End," was kind of inspired by the Rudess Morgenstein project, one of their albums.
Okay.
So Yeah, I like that. Big Big Train. I'm a fan of theirs, and Porcupine Tree. I like some of Steve Wilson's solo stuff.
Do those bands get through down to Houston at times?
They do at times. We got Opeth going to be here in a couple weeks.
No, they're
Actually,
great. Yeah.
yeah, they're going to be at the House of Blues.
And I'm one of those people. I like the newer stuff better than the older stuff. So
Yeah, me too.
I like the non screaming things.
Yeah,
Screamo.
Yeah, the screamo really doesn't do too much for me. But
Nope, it doesn't say anything to me either.
yeah, but there's a lot of their fans that don't like their new music because
That's
of that.
crazy.
yeah.
That's
You know.
sad.
Yeah, but they're getting older. You can't do that forever, unless you're Alice Cooper, of course.
Ah, there you go.
In which
Hey.
case, everything is game.
The Godfather.
Hey, you know, I think the second concert I ever saw in my life, it was had to be 1972.
Okay.
Was
That would be Killer-
Alice Cooper's Killer Tour.
Yeah, it had to be the Killer Tour. I was into Cooper also. But my first concert was Grand Funk, and then probably one at future after that was the $1 Billion Baby Tour. So
Yeah,
that goes back.
that was a great
70
tour too.
Oh yeah, that was the beginning right there for me. Man, for me.
So since we're doing this, let's do this. First concert.
For me, shoot.
You don't remember?
I guess.
Oh God, I'll never forget mine.
Go first then.
Mine was Grand Funk Railroad, man.
Oh.
1972.
Mark
No,
Farner.
1971. April 1971.
Oh yeah, guess who? That was my first.
The Guess Who.
My first concert. Yeah.
Good band.
We had this radio station here in Pittsburgh that ran this insane contest. They were called 13Q. They were like it's an AM. It was AM radio, and
Okay.
they came to town, took over one of the stations, and we're going to have this crazy format. It was pop. It was strictly pop, but
Okay.
what they would do is they would have a jackpot, and they would call. You would send in your phone number. Okay.
What?
Yeah, you send them your phone number by mail, and they would call the phone numbers, and you had to answer the phone call. Not by if you say hello, you're done. You have
Uh-oh.
to. You had to say, "I listened to the new sound of 13Q."
Oh wow! What a great promotion.
It was, and everybody in
Right.
this town was doing it because
Yeah.
the jackpots were going into the thousands, and they'd add
Ouch.
like $100 every time that.
God.
And that was a lot of money back then. So
Of course.
yeah, so this station they did that kind of stuff. Plus, they gave away a shitload of tickets. And a friend of mine and I won front row tickets
Coolness.
to David
That's cool.
Bowie.
Oh man.
That was my first concert. We were in the first row. It was like 90 degrees. It was like 95 in the auditorium. And he was up there on stage, and we were on the first row. And, you know, he was the skinny guy. But it's hot, plus the lights are hitting him and everything else. And the dude is sweating to beat the band. And every time he would, like, spin around, and he did that a lot, you would get this, like, band of sweat that would fly your way. It was
that the-
it was a great show. It was also
Was it-
one of the most disgusting things I've had to endure in my life.
Was that the Spiders tour?
I don't remember, to be
remember.
honest with you. It was 1972.
Okay.
And I remember where it was. It was the Syria Mosque of Pittsburgh. But yeah, sweat all over us, man. It was disgusting. The
So you
show
actually-
was great. The show was.
So you-
we were only 14 years old, but and so to us the sweat thing was pretty overwhelming. But we're still able to differentiate that it was really a great show.
Good.
So yeah, that was my first show.
Very cool. That's a cool experience right there.
So
Front row.
Yeah. So Roby, you said Big Train and things like that. Do you know that Big Train is coming to the United States?
Yes,
What a-
yeah. Saw
What
that.
a, what a segue this is, huh? Isn't this a
Yeah,
fantastic segue?
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm gonna torch this one, right? So I'm going to keep you here for a couple more minutes, but I'm going to tell people something. On May 17th, if you've ever heard of the band great friends of House of Prague, but also fantastic band. They've been around for 25 years. They are opening for a band that we've been waiting for more than 10 years to come to the United States, and that's Big Big Train. And they're going to be playing in New Jersey, and it is going to be, hold on one second, I'm going to pull it up just so I have everything, because I want people to go right now and buy tickets for it. It is going to be at the Brook Arts Center, 10 Hamilton Street, Bound Brook, New Jersey. If you go to the New Jersey Prague House's Facebook page or web page, you'll see links to buy tickets. They're for this band, these tickets are amazing, $65 to $100. Great tickets are still available. They went on sale today at noon. I will tell you this. If you want to go to this show, you better buy this weekend, because I think all the tickets are going to be gone after this weekend. I'd say at least 65% of the tickets are sold, and they are going to be bought. Everybody's been waiting for this and saying, hey, we can't wait till we hear Big Big Train. And there have been a lot of disappointments over the years when we thought maybe they were coming. And they weren't. This is a massive production to bring to the United States. So go to New Jersey Prague House's Facebook page, follow the links, and buy tickets. Again, it is Sunday, May 17th, so it's a Sunday evening from 7 p.m. to around 11:30 p.m. So this is one you're going to want to stay over for, unless you live like right in New Jersey or something. There is hotel information on the website of the hotel that they're recommending that you use. Go out and buy your tickets right now. If you're listening to the show and you love Big Big Train and you're within 400 miles of of New Jersey, you need to go buy your tickets. So that's the end of that story. Roby and Craig wanted to thank you tremendously for coming on tonight. I really think, like I said at the beginning, that this album has a lot of staying power. And I think when people listen to it, they're going to agree. There is a lot in this release for a lot of people that I think is really going to hit home in some ways, both musically, lyrically, and songcraft and music artistry. So when you're looking at those categories for something like this, I think this album is a real heavy hitter. It came out at the end of last year, right?
Yes.
And I had it on my list for like one of the top albums of the year.
Wow.
And a lot of people didn't even notice it because it is so hard to get noticed out there with all the music out there.
Right.
But it was something that I latched onto and really, really enjoyed. And that's why I contacted you guys, some time ago about this. Anything else that you want to say? We're going to, I will tell people we're going to let you go with the last track on the album. It's called Voice of Freedom. But anything else that you want to say about the album or the band or the state of things or stream of consciousness stuff? Doesn't matter. It's your time.
Great. Thank you for having us on, Marty. The last song, Voice of Freedom, while other songs have full instrumentation, we kept this one strictly keyboard, bass, and drums because both of Craig and myself, our heroes were Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and we wanted to kind of pay homage to their style and keep their memory alive. Essentially, that both their music had a profound effect on us when we were younger.
It's huge.
and I want to continue paying respect to what they meant to us growing up.
Okay.
Yes, and Marty, I really appreciate all your support and all your fans there on the waiting room at the House of Prague. Just love your station, man. Appreciate everything. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And I wanted to say that I think you guys are going about it the right way.
Thank you.
And putting the music first, which a lot of times gets lost with some people because they're trying so hard and they're forced to be business people and all those other kinds of things. And I think for right now that you're keeping it at a really good level in order to really, really take care of the music for everybody. So I really thank you for coming on the show. Stick around with me for a couple minutes after I let you go on the air, and we're going to play Voice of Freedom and play you off here. The name of the album is Deaton LeMay Project's Day After Yesterday. It came out at the end of 2019, and this is an album people should really be paying attention to because I think it's got a lot of the things in all the right places for a lot of people who listen to this for their kind of musical sensibilities. So again, thank you guys for coming on, and I'll play you off with Voice of Freedom from the new album. Okay?
All right.
Alrighty. Here we go.
Thank you.
That was new music from Deaton LeMay Project. Hope you like that. Really, really great album. I really highly recommend it.